Okay, guys, I'm going to be talking about skipping today, and you are going to see how important skipping is for everyone. So long as you are trading in casino games, you see that skipping is very important. And skipping has been underrated by many persons because they should be applying skipping, yet they are not applying it. You are going to see that if you are skipping, you are at the top of the game. You won't have a reason to blow up your account, and you will see how very funny how even 10,000 naira will be able to sustain you in certain markets. So let's see. Now I'm going to be highlighting, including the maximum number of times a particular market can go in a negative parallel trend. So, and how skipping is going to keep you safe in times like that. So just watch. Now 2024, I was hoping of making a lot of money from trading, so much money that I'm going to putting some in some places whereby I won't have to even remember that I kept money in this kind of places. Though yeah, we did, but not to the extent at which I actually intend to do it. So next year we are going to do it together, and we are going to do it in a more better way. So guys, let's see. Skipping. Let me start with notes. Okay. Okay. Now, skipping in actual sense means just okay. So I'm going to be talking about skipping, and okay. Now, skipping can take different forms depending on your strategy. It's crucial to understand that skipping plays a vital role in trading. In manual games, skipping involves balancing various odds through mathematical calculations to bypass the current game and reach your desired entry points without losing more than 10 naira or possibly avoiding losses altogether. This means while skipping in manual games, you in manual games now, you can't skip game. You are you you are to play before you can next the game to the next point. However, with skipping, it's it means you are balancing the odds in such a way that you'll be able to be keep passing the games from that current state to the point where you want to trade, where you feel it's safer for you at that point to trade. So applying skipping in manual games is very interesting when you understand it. Let's take for instance now, here is what it means to apply skipping in manual games. Now, if we are to apply skipping in a manual game like let's make use of lucky dice. Now, okay, now what we just saw in the notes, it explains to us that if we are to skip in scenario like this, it means we are to pick two odds in this game. For instance, if we pick this and this now, this market, the odd assigned to this market is 1.94, and the odd assigned to this market is 1.94. So if I take these two markets with 50-50, I'm going to make a win of 97 naira in return, irrespective of the outcome. So I can repeat this for as many times as I want. My aim is to get a very good entry point to trade on this market. Let's take for instance now, if I play this, each time I'll be losing just 3 naira, and 3 naira is not much of a problem because when I make a win, I'll easily recover the accumulation of that 3 naira I've lost. That's the problem. So that you can see we just skipped and look at the results here. You can see the results here is added to this part. Yeah. So let's see. Now I'm skipping again, looking for an entry point. When to trade, when will be best for me to trade in either of the markets. So when I see a point whereby it's very safe for me to trade on the market, that's the point I will start trading. That's what it means to skip in the market. So while I'm skipping, while you are skipping, there is always a strategy you should have in mind that you should be looking at. Let's take for instance now. You are either looking at, for instance, maybe you are making use of these two markets. You are looking at this or this. Now, what are you looking at these two markets to give to you? You are looking for these two markets for one of them to give you an easy entry point so that you can trade on the market. Let's take for instance now. Currently, if I trade on this market, it's safer for me. Why? Because at this point here, it entered on this, which is a low. Now this low covers for all these numbers here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now at this point now it entered for low. At this point, at this second point, it entered for low again, which is two markets, and at this point it entered for here again, still in the low. Then here at this point now, the trend for this low market is broken and it has moved on to this side. So it won't stay long here before I make a win. So if I'm to trade on this one, you can see that I will make an easy win. Let's take for instance now. So just watch. So you can see we made an easy win. So you skipping, it takes you closer to your to the point whereby it's safer for you to trade on that particular market at that point in time. So if assuming I started my trading from here, look at what would have happened. From this point that I started my trading with 1,000, with 1k, then this point would have been 2k. This point I would have been spending 4k. At this point I would have been spending 8k. Then at this point I would be spending 16k. Then this point that finally entered for me would have been 24k. Accumulatively, that is how much now? 3,000, 7,000, 15,000. Okay, yeah, 7,000, 15,000. Then 15,000 plus 16,000 is going to be 21,000 naira plus 24,000. That's going to be 21,000, 45,000 naira. Now, I would have be required to spend a total of 41,000 naira before it will enter for me, before I make this win that I just made. Now, while I skipped away this, and this. So it was okay. Sorry, I skipped away 1, 2, 3, 4. It was at this point now I started trading, because at this point I now see that the market is safe for me to trade on this particular market. So when I traded on this market at this point, I made an easy win without spending much capital. How much did I spend? Just 3,000 naira. In a market that I would have initially spent a total of 45,000 naira. So just imagine what it's like to skip. And how much did that skipping cost me? Just 3 naira here, 3 naira here, that's 6 naira, and that 3 naira here, 3 naira here, that's 12 naira. So I lost 12 naira, 12 naira, and I lost 12 naira to save myself from spending 45,000 naira. Because if I had doubled to that 45,000 naira at this point now, if this one did not enter now, what I would have been required to enter the market with is that I would have gone into the market with 48,000 naira. Now, again, it still did not just end there. The sweet thing about what I just did is this. While I skipped 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the market before entering, it did not just take away this 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 naira. Now, if I'm required, look at the amount, say 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 24. And 24. When I skipped, this first one I skipped is this amount that is removed. This second one I skipped is this amount that is removed. This third one I skipped is this amount that is removed. This fourth one I skipped is this amount that is removed. Now you can see that when you are skipping, is the capital from the bottom part that is removing, thereby keeping you safe. We are requiring you to go into that same market with lesser amount of capital at any point in time. I don't know if you understand this. It will be difficult for you to understand this if you have not taken training before. But you that is already trading because you have taken training, it will be easier for you to understand. Here is what I mean. Now, when you skip, if you are looking at this market, if your estimated time for this market is probably, let's say, if your estimated time for this market is 13 times to 16 maximum 10, let's say 16 times. Now, this is going to experience a negative parallel trend of 16 times. Though you won't directly need 16 times because it's going to break maximum at 14 times. So let's assume that you are required to have a 16 times capital to be safe in this market. Now, this 16 times capital is going to be something like this. It's going to be one. If I'm starting with, so okay, let me start with 50. That's going to be 50 times. Why am I not seeing it? Okay, 50 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. No, this is not helping. I have to make it clear. Okay, 50 plus 100 plus 200 plus 200 plus 400 plus 400 plus 800 plus 1,600 plus 3,200 plus 6,400 plus 12,800 plus 20. 12 plus 12 is 24. 800 plus 800, 1,006. So 25,600 plus 25,600 plus 51,200, 51,200 plus 102,400, 102,400. Now these are main times. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this is 12 times. The next one is going to be 104,800, 104,800, followed by, sorry, not 104, 204, because this is this, so 204,800, followed by 408, 409, 600. Yeah. Followed by these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now this 14 times. Now I have to still add 2 more to make it 16 times, right? So because you want to be safe in the market. So let's go. That's one more is going to be 400 is 400, 800,000. This side going to give us 800,000. 9,000 plus 9,000, 18,000 naira. Then That's going to be 818,000. Then 600 times 2 is going to be 1,200. So 1,200 into 18,000, that's 19,200. 19,200 plus 800, that's 819,200. So 819,200. So just one more. Now 819,200. That's going for 800 times 800. That's 1.6. Yeah. Then 19 plus 19 going to give us 819,200 and C is going to give us 1.61638,400. Now, the total capital that is required for you to stay safe in that mid market is 3 million. Is this okay? It's going to be 3,276,750,000 naira. Now, I don't always advise you go into the market with this. Never. No. See, no one will say I have ever said go into the market with 1 million. But you will see that all your calculation, your trading powers will be above 1 million. I always say it's best to always build your capital from the system by using small amount of money. So that's what is preferable. Now, here is the beautiful thing about skipping. This market requires you to go into the market to be safe in the system with 3 million plus. Now, when you skip once, it means you are removing this from this back. You have cancelled this. Okay, so when you skip once, you have cancelled one, leaving you with this. So the capital that will be required of you to go into the market is this amount. The capital that will be required of you to go into the market instead of the initial 3.2 million is now 1.6 million naira. This for one time skipping. So if you skip again, you have cancelled out this one. But have you imagined why is it that when you are skipping, is not this one that is going out, is not this one that is being deducted, but rather this big value? That's because if you have ever wondered that, that's because when you are starting your trade, you are not starting from here, but you are starting from here. So this one is at the ending part. Since you are removing, it just means if you remove one, it won't take, you will still start from here. Regardless, you are not going to start from this point. So long as you are starting from here, it won't take you to this point again. So this one is the one that is removing. You understand? Thereby lessening the capital for you. So again, so you might be wondering how many times so then should you skip? So if you are thinking of how many times you should skip to be safe in the market, that still depends on you. Let's take for instance, we have two traders. Okay, let's say we have three traders. One is capable of having using that amount of 3.2 million naira. Then he can do what is called blind doubling by blindly chasing a win in the market and easily make a win in the system, even when he experiences a negative parallel trend. Now, how about you that doesn't have that 3.2 million naira? Meaning he will not be required to skip again at that point in time. How about you that does not have the 3.2 million naira, but let's assume you have 400,000 naira. Now, you that is having 400,000 naira to start, we have skipped one already. So if you skip this one again, that's 2 times. So skipping away 2 times is going to leave you with 819,000 naira, meaning you'll be required to go into the market with 819,150. So if you skip 3 times, If you skip 3 times, you will be required to go into the market with 409,550. You can see that the money is reducing. Now it's almost at your budget, but you still don't have the 9,550, so you are skipping again. Now, while skipping, what are the disadvantages of skipping? The only major disadvantage of skipping is this. In fact, the only major disadvantage is this. You are going to spend more time in making profit than that person. Now, that person will be making more profit than you. Like the person will be making profit more faster than you. So you now you will require more time to make the profit amount that person is making. This is because the capital, the time that you are using to skip, that person is trading along. So that's the major difference. That point whereby you see an entry point, but you can't trade, you have to skip it off simply because of your capital. The other person is taking all those points, those opportunities to trade and make profits, to be accumulating his profits. So let's go. Now we have skipped about 3 times, so this is the fourth one. Now skipping 4 times will require you to go into the market with 204,750. Now, here is the thing. At this point now, you are required to go into the market with 204,750. So you that is having 400,000 capital is safe in the market. While you are skipping, is same level of safety, even if it's 200,000 naira. You, like for instance, you are starting with this 204,750. So long as you skip the 4 times before you start your trade, you are in equivalent safety as that person having that 3.2 million naira capital. In fact, you will even have more peace of mind than that person, because let me tell you, by the time that person, the both of you experiences a negative parallel trend, here is what is going to happen. Imagine you start at this point, you skipped 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this fifth one is your entry point. This fifth one being your entry point, here now is your entry point. Now at the point whereby this one is your entry point, look at watch, here is what is going to happen. If you still further experience another 5 times negative trend, that means you will be required to, this now is your actual entry point too, but at this point that this is your entry point, you are starting with 50 naira. I don't know if you understand. You are not starting with 800 naira, but at the same time, the other person having the required capital to go into the market with is at this particular point now, when you are entering the market with 50 naira, he has already doubled to 800 naira. So him is trading with 800 naira at this point, while you are trading with 50. Now let's go further. If the trend happens to be on a negative parallel trend for further 5 times, here is what is going to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At that point, the person is required to make use of this amount, 25,600 naira. While at that point, you are required to make use of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is at that point you are using 800 naira. Why? Because you have already cancelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 times from the back. You have waited patiently for these 5 times to pass before you are entering the market. So at this point now, if this one does not enter now, for the person to make use of this heavy amount, his heart will be shaking. Meanwhile, you won't be feeling it that much because it's just 800 naira you are using at that point. So you can see that skipping is very, very important. It keeps you safe in the market, yet reducing the capital vastly. But you all are making same amount of profit. In the aspect of you all are making same amount of profit, please don't think it that way, that you all are actually making same amount of profit, because this person's own will be higher. That's because At this point whereby he's required to use 25,600 naira. If he's in a leveraged odd, see, here is the only reason why his profit will be higher. If he's in a regular game whereby this market is having 2.0 odd, then the two of you will have same profit, equal profit. But simply because there is a additional 20 odd, which is the 2.20 odd, that one is going to increase the profit margin. So at this point whereby he's using 25,000 naira, here is what is going to happen. Now he's using 25,600 times 2.2 is going to make 56,000 naira. Now, okay, let me do this. It's going to, the actual amount of money he's making is 51,000 naira. But because of that 0.2, it's going to make additional 5,320. However, you are going to make the additional money, but it's going to be in this form. Yours is going to come like this. Now that one is additional 5,320 difference is adding to his profit minus the actual profit that will have been added, which is the average of 15 naira. Now here is the difference. At that point you are using 800, so 800 times 2 is going to give you 1,006. At this 1,006 you are making 50 profit. So point that 2 difference, point the 2 difference. So you are making additional, that's 1,006 initially, so you are making additional 160. So you can see how vast the difference is. His profit comes almost 5,000 plus additional one that is not part of the calculation, while yours is 160 addition that is not part of the calculation. So he has a better advantage than you. So that's skipping in this sense for manual games. Now that's the essence of skipping in manual games. So at the point whereby, let me clear this. Now come back here. Now if you we have skipped 4 times. So if you skip 5 times now, you will be required to go into the market with 102,000. If you skip 6 times, you will be required to go into the market with 51,000 naira, while you are still as safe as that same person. So you can see that if you skip 7 times, you are required to only go into the market with 25,550. Furthermore, you can still decide to skip off the 8th one. So requiring you to go into the market with just 12,750. If you skip 9 times, that's 6,350. So you can just be skipping and trading. It all boils down to your capital. So this is how you manage your capital. This is a very strategic way of managing capital and still staying safe in the market. This is very important. So this is for automatic games. So let's go back. Now, the second part of the material I read. Okay, the other one is for arbitrary trade. This is my notes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here is the second part of the material. Additionally, skipping can mean waiting several rounds before entering the market based on calculated favorable conditions. This is almost same thing. What's happening? Shut I hate this. Profit test. Risk. Okay, here we go. So In the second part of it, now we continue. This is especially useful when trading with limited capital compared to your ideal starting amount. You can see that it's still almost same thing. However, in this particular one now, is talking about is more of the automatic games I'm referring to. So by skipping games, you effectively reduce the number of calculations, allowing you to enter the market safely with small capital. So I've already explained that. Now in automatic games, let's see the difference. Babe, please help me with water. Yeah. Okay. Now in automatic games, here is what it means. Now, in the automatic games, it means that you wait for an entry point. Rather than playing along to next the game, you don't play. You patiently wait for that particular point to feel is okay for you to enter the market. Let's take for instance now, if I'm trading on the high and low markets, and here is one thing. Look, the high and low markets, let me surprise you today. Is this high and low? Okay, now watch out. In the high and low markets, in this session where you are seeing strike, this means now this means the longest the parallel trend, the positive parallel trend a particular market has experienced, favoring just that market. Now let's go. This is for the last 100. So let's put it in the last 24 hours. So in the last 100, the assuming you were even doubling blindly, like you are chasing a win, straight win, the maximum number of time you would have doubled would have been 6. You can see that the the parallel trend, the highest negative parallel trend that has taken place is just 5. Just watch. Now, in the last 24 hours, that's for the last 100 draw, in the last 24 hours, it has gotten to 12 times. The maximum has been 12 times. Now, 12 times is also safe, fair enough, if you are doubling blindly. Now, if you are not doubling blindly, it simply means, let me go back to the calculation. I just hope this thing will still be here. History. I would have saved that along. Okay, so at least part of it is here, so we can use this part. Okay. Now that 12 times means if you are going chasing a blind win, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it's on the 13th one you are going to make a win, which is going to be 204,800. Yeah, 204,800. 204,800. It's at this one you are going to make a win. So just imagine you are not skipping. At this point now, your heart will be beating. Will you even have the courage to go into the market with this amount? Because you know that kind of headache that used to come from this side of the head when you are not making a win. In fact, when you are doubling and you experience a negative parallel trend, there is this kind of headache that's come. It enters through this side of the head. I don't know if your own is different, but majority of persons their own is coming through this side, this right ear side. To just hate you. That's the sound. You at that point you'll be sweating. See, yeah, if you're not if you have not experienced it, you don't know, Sha. But I know that some persons watching this now, they will be smiling because they know what they have gone through. When you are doubling and it is getting to this kind of figures, when you are trading and you experience a negative parallel trend getting to this kind of figures, we have two kind of traders. At this point, there is this kind of traders that even while they are sweating, they will still say, I will continue. Hopefully the next one will make a way for me. I will continue. Not that they are putting that money with joy, but they just have to put it with the hope that it's going to enter this one. You understand? Then we have this other trader that, no, Kai, I will start to build the capital again all over. At this point, in fact, I know someone that from this point, they are going to say, don't worry, let me just start all over, or let me wait for the trend to break. I know them. That's how it is. So we have those kind of traders. Now, that's why it's very important to trade. Never trade in such a way that you will have to sweat. You will have to sweat in the market. Don't trade that way. Don't trade more than your capacity, mostly your mental capacity, your financial mental capacity, not mental capacity. I know is strong, your own is strong, but we have financial mental capacity. That one, it means there is a certain amount of money you can't afford to lose. If you lose it, you will not recover from it on time. Like the shock of you losing that money. There's this funny thing about you losing money. When you blow up your account, here is one thing. The moment you blow up your account, you will not really feel it that the money is gone. Like for some seconds, you don't really feel it. It's after some seconds you regain yourself that so truly this money is gone from my account. In fact, I know some persons that will still go back and refresh their accounts. They'll still refresh their accounts. And at that point in time, it will be like if a movie, you will be angry at yourself. You just want to delete your trading account. In fact, you just want to even hit your phone, smash your phone, or even just be angry. If someone make unnecessary comments at that point in time, you are going to unleash your anger on that person. That's how it is. So you have to learn how to control all those things, all these emotions and angers, and allowing yourself to be carried away in the system. You have to learn how to control these things. See, some persons feel if they make a parallel trend win, if they make a win in a parallel trend, then they will feel they have gotten hold of the system, so they will now want to send the system to village. You understand? This means if you make a win this time, you now say, I've gotten these people, let me try 1,000 naira. You put in the 1,000, meanwhile you have been trading with 100 naira. You put in the 1,000, you made a win. So the next one you put in 10,000, you made a win. The next one you put in 100,000, you made a win. Now the next one now, you just be feeling like you are the best of the game. No, there is no such thing as you have gotten it, you have seen it all in this system. So at every point, even if what you have been waiting for hours or even the entire day appear that moment, please, it is always still best that you trade based on your calculation, because they can surprise you. Them fit surprise you, like shop rise, and still surprise you. So anyone you want to take or understand is best. So this video is more than our initial video, our video time is more than the time, so we are going to end this here. I intend to actually expand on this skipping because most persons are having issue with this. But before I go, let me highlight this now. Let's let me put it in on all time. Now this last 24 hours means this is 24 hours. But assuming at this point now you are the skipping type, even if you just 5 times you have skipped in that game now, that's people. In fact, most persons I know must have blown their account in that when that trend take place. So if you had skipped only 5 times, here is what would have happened. One, this would have been wiped out. Wiped out, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So all you would have been required to go into the market would have been this. So let's cancel them so we can see how much that would have been. 12,750 only. So in a system that would have actually required you to go into the market with about over 800,000 naira, you see it's just 12,750, and you would have been still safe as that person with that amount with no headache, zero headache. You understand? But that person at that point in time now will be sweating. So that's the difference. That's the importance of skipping. Let's go back. Now, let me put it in all time so you see the maximum number of time it has been. Refresh first. Let's see. Ethan, okay. Huh? I'm getting my fruit salad. I'm almost done. I'm already done. Just want to try. I like to try. And now, here is the last thing I'm going to show you. The maximum number of time a negative parallel trend has taken place so far from the beginning of the designing of this 49 jar game is 19 times. So you on your own just use your sense, tell yourself what to do out of this and be 100% safe in the market. The only thing you can never put in the capital that is required to keep you safe in this market when this 19 time takes place. You understand? So for you, and this is likely to happen once in a blue moon. It could be once in a year, once in. You understand? But how are you going to be safe in this? It's simple. Should I tell you how many times you have to skip? Do the mathematics, skip it off, start with that amount, and be safe in the market. Every day, your own will just be to collect, take, because you already know this is a very deep secret I'm giving to you. Because you already know how many times it's going to take in this market maximum. You understand? So your own at every point in time is just to be resettling money. So that's all for today. In the next class, not class, I'm only mistaking it. Sure. I've been having a lot of classes, so I always tend to mistake it for class. So in the next training, I'm going to be talking of let me see what I should be looking at. Okay, arbitrary. Okay, the next one I'm going to be talking of in the next video I'm going to be talking of arbitrary. Okay, so because I'll be talking of arbitrary, the importance of arbitrary and how you can take advantage of it, just like today's content. So you have to share this video whether you like it or not. Just share it. You are not smiling again because I said share video. Share it and comment. See, comment the areas you are confused. Let me know. Alright guys, see you when you see again. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.